everybody out there listening, and welcome back to another episode of the Cards for Kids podcast. I'm your host, David Egloff, and I'm really excited about the interview we have for you guys today. Now, this podcast is brought to you by Cards for Kids, where we uplift spirits one card at a time. Don't forget to check out our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, the company website. I promise any little bit of help that you can do makes a huge difference. And with that, let's take it on to our interview for today. And our guest with us today is Beth Rosendahl. How are you doing today, Beth?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing amazing. Now, before we spoke today, I asked you to bring a quote. I love quotes. I think that they have a lot of power to them. So, Beth, if you could, please read us the quote that you brought for us today.
Absolutely. The quote I have for us today is, "Life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's learning to dance in the rain."
I love the quote. And can you talk a little bit about what that quote means to you?
Yes, absolutely. I think it's about just making the best of every opportunity and everything you have in life. Life will always throw us challenges, and it's what you do to make the best of everything. So I've always kind of kept that in mind, that no matter what is happening, that if you have a good time and appreciate what you're doing and in the moment, you end up just enjoying life more.
Now, Beth, if you could you give the listeners some background as to your role with Cards for Kids?
Yeah, absolutely. I started with Cardz For Kidz in August of this past year. It was in the middle of COVID, and I was looking for places to get involved and finding ways that I could still give back, despite the fact that we were in the middle of a pandemic. So when I started with Cardz For Kidz, I got a chance to see all of the different roles and the different jobs that you could do. And I quickly learned which ones I liked and which ones I didn't enjoy doing as much. So what I do is I am packaging up all of the cards to be sent to the hospitals or the homes or the senior home livings or anywhere the cards are that are going to be shipped. I count up how many cards are going to go there, what kind of cards we're going to send there, and then I package them up to be delivered.
Now, you've only been working since August, but you've acquired over 100 volunteer hours with Cards for Kids. What do you think specifically? Now, you told us what you did, but has there been a specific project or a specific instance where you were working on this that was your favorite?
My favorite. I don't know if I could say I have any favorite. EK would probably say that I like the packages where we're sending hundreds of cards to people, because I like being able to just count. To me, it's really relaxing. And so it's just like this kind of the space where I get to count cards and I enjoy reading through them. Sometimes I'll find a good joke that I like to share.
Do you have a favorite card that you've seen so far?
No, but I can share one that I saw yesterday that gave me a really good laugh.
I would love to hear that card.
Sure. So the joke inside the card, but maybe it's only because I'm a teacher that I thought it was really funny. But the joke said, "Pencils could be made with erasers at both ends, but what would be the point?" So as a teacher, maybe it was more funny to me, but I thought that was a good one yesterday.
It's a pretty clever card.
Correct. Very. So I enjoy running across stuff like that.
That's amazing. I love the creativity that we see in those cards. It's really insane how much creativity there is in the world.
Yes.
Now, I know that you also work on getting other people involved. You've gotten multiple people involved with the organization. What's your strategy when you're trying to get somebody involved?
For me, really, it's just sharing with others what I'm doing. So I would say that I'm pretty passionate about the things that I enjoy doing. So in my life, as I come across friends, colleagues, I basically am just sharing what I'm doing. Oh, I'm going to volunteer on Monday. Oh, I'm going over here. And then it just starts a conversation. And from that conversation, it leads to a lot of people being interested. And so then I just make the connection, or I will just bring somebody with me so that they get a chance to do it themselves.
Now, you spoke about how you not only help out for Cards for Kids so much, but you're really just walking advertisement telling everybody, hey, this is what I'm doing. You're getting people to come. What do you think about Cards for Kids is different? There's a lot of different organizations out there, but people just seem to stick to this one. People who are with Cards for Kids seem to stay with Cards for Kids and attract people around them to Cards for Kids. What do you think about the organization's different?
I think that Cards for Kids has a lot of personal touch to it. So it's not just the cards aren't just being delivered, the cards are being delivered to the children's rooms, and there's this, they have to get delivered. So I think a big piece of that is knowing that the work that people are doing is really impacting the children or the adults or anyone that they go to. I think that Cards for Kids does a great job of then sharing that feedback back with the volunteers. So I know even personally for myself, it's really fun for me to see cards that I have packaged up, but then to go back on some of the social media sites and to see like, oh, I packaged that card, or, oh, I remember that card. And then getting to see kids in the hospital holding the cards up that I was a part of the delivery. So I think Cards for Kids does a really good job of showing the impact that these cards are making on those that they're delivered to.
Now, everybody's gotten here a different way. Everybody's taken different paths in their lives to getting involved with Cards for Kids and just this great cause. What would you say in your life were your biggest inspirations that led you to where you are today?
With Cards for Kids or just in general?
Let's do both.
Let's see. So with Cards for Kids, like I said, I was looking for a way that I could still give back, especially during the pandemic when many of us were just stuck at home. And so this was something that I could do during that time. And it really is a combination because I would say in general in life, I am a teacher, so I do have a passion for kids. I have a passion for serving. I enjoy serving in my church and other organizations. So this was a place that I felt like I could put my loves and my passions together with both giving back and with kids.
Now, I just have one last question for you, and then we'll let you get out of here today.
Absolutely.
What piece of advice would you give someone looking to get involved with Cards for Kids?
What piece of advice? To have fun and enjoy the process. And if there's one piece of the process that you don't enjoy, there's always another part that you can get involved with and find that thing that you enjoy the most. Because when you enjoy what you're doing, it doesn't really seem like work or anything. It's just a good time.
I couldn't agree with you more. Currently, I mean, I'm volunteering and this is what they're having me do. I'm having a podcast where I'm interviewing different people and I really love it. It doesn't feel like work at all. I love just chatting with people in my regular life. So all this is them connecting me with different people to speak with that are involved with the company.
I call that a win-win.
Absolutely. It definitely is a win-win. Now, Beth, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to come speak with us. I appreciate everything, and we'll talk to you all next time.
All right. My pleasure. Thank you.
And with that, this episode of the Cards for Kids podcast has come to an end. Thank you for listening. I encourage you all again to check out our company website, Instagram, Facebook, all social media to learn more about us and what we do. My name's David Egloff, and I'll talk to you next time.